the whole movie was this bland, boring,
early 2000s rom-com format.
Like a turkey sandwich with white bread.
It was the worst. No, listen up. I like a turkey sandwich.
And I happen to like it on white bread.
But I put a lot of pepper on those bad boys.
You put so much mayonnaise and pepper.
I don't put so much mayonnaise, all right? You put a thin layer on either side of the bread. And then you slap a bunch of pepper on that bad. Like so much pepper. I can't state how much pepper. Like on both sides of the bread, you cover it.
Yeah.
Okay. If you skin a Dalmatian and put it on there, that's kind of, you want it.
Once again, another flagship episode. Happy Monday.
We're going to get the laughs in. We're going to have a good time.
You guys are going to give me more gray hairs.
Just go with the flow.
Go with the flow.
Dude, I can't take it.
Welcome back to the Wacky Wonderful Wiseworks podcast. All you guys, gals, geeks, and goofballs. We're here again.
Oh.
That was loud. That was scary.
Sorry.
Can't be scaring me like that.
I'm going into this podcast completely blind.
Yeah, completely blind,
you didn't
everybody.
even look at the text?
I told you. I sent you a text.
I looked at the text, and I was busy.
How dare you not look at the text?
I don't know what our slides are.
Don't worry about it. I got you, gentlemen. Don't even worry about it. Let's go into this blind.
Segment 2.
Why is it going into blind?
Segment 3.
How are you guys doing on this Monday morning?
Oh, it's
Monday. But to be honest, we have to do Mondays regardless.
Right. True.
But I could be wrong about this. Could be wrong about this. 4 more episodes, 3 more miscellaneous episodes, and then our list.
Mm-hmm.
Our cartoon animation list. And then we're not going to reveal our we do have a theme already.
Oh, for
I was
next.
going to say that. You have a theme.
Okay.
Listen.
Which we need to get on that.
This summer, we're about halfway through. Maybe a little bit more than halfway. I'm not sure, but it's been a blast so far.
I've enjoyed it. I've had fun.
I have had fun as well. I mean, look at all the work I did for this summer. You guys see all these graphics, all these videos?
I see them.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Got you dancing, Joshua? I feel like I just made that.
I had a question because I was looking at other podcasts. I know, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be going and looking at other podcasts, but
you're like that meme, the guy that's like looking back and the girlfriend's like
other podcasts.
Wiseworks, Wyatt, other podcasts. Yeah. No, I saw a 2 Bears, 1 Cave, which we've talked about before.
We all look at that podcast.
But it was like Bert took a racist test. Like, are you racist? Did you guys see that clip?
Yeah, I saw it.
I was like, man, I wonder how fast we could kill our channel. You guys want to take a racist test?
I mean, that's always been the thing, though. Bert, a little bit. Everybody's like, Bert, you're racist, and that's been the running joke.
Yeah,
he's a little racist.
I mean, we've called out the Jews.
We've called out the Jews.
They need that occasionally.
A handful of times.
That was a while ago.
And to be honest, the Jews, they always get all the stuff.
Yeah. You gotta slow your roll. This is for joking purposes.
But listen, for real though,
you say things too seriously sometimes.
Look, if you don't know I'm joking by now, you don't even know me, dog.
There's some of these people out here watching the podcast.
I dream for the day when I can make a joke with a straight face, pretend that I'm very serious, and everyone knows I'm not. I've said this on the podcast. Expect 85% of the stuff that comes out of my mouth is not accurate how I feel.
I'd like the day to come where I could make a racism.
A racism?
Just
racism.
Just make a racism.
And nobody's like,
no repercussions.
No repercussions.
I'd like to make a racism.
That day when you're just so old.
You're just like, I'm going to make racisms today. Yeah, we should take this test. But that's not on this episode.
No, we can't. We don't have the time. I'd like to take the test.
If we did, it would be a midnight or a pre-show. But
I'd be down to do it on a midnight.
Okay.
But
here, maybe not.
We can copy Tom and Bert. Do a racist test pre-show. Stick around for Friday night in a week or 5 days, 10 p.m. We might be seeing if we're racist or not.
We might be.
Why?
Collectively.
Collectively?
Yeah.
No, we need to do this on an individual basis.
But we're going to be here doing it in public, so it'll be like, I disagree with that.
Also, we have to answer honestly.
Of course.
On the topic of other podcasts, I happened upon a small podcast, much like ours, but smaller.
Okay.
Wait, smaller than ours?
How did you get smaller than us?
And at least 20 people
I don't know. They might
watch us
they
now?
might get more views than we do. I have no idea.
We have
subscriber count's just
consistently
lower.
20 people that consistently
But I
watch
thought
us.
they
No,
were
it's like
interesting because I like
25, 30.
their niche.
Okay, what's their niche?
It's 2000s.
That's it.
They explore the 2000s.
Wow.
We're talking commercials, pop culture, movies. They did a podcast just recently on Sky High. Just talking about Sky High.
Let's shout out this podcast.
Let's see.
Wait, I don't know them very well. Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should watch a couple of their
Hold
episodes.
on, give me their
first.
name. I'll pull them up on the screen.
Yo, they were. I
The
found them. I
Jumbotron.
found them on one reel, and then I had a hard time finding them after that.
After that, like on YouTube?
Yeah, or on Instagram and YouTube.
Okay, but if you give me their name, I'll look for them.
That'd be so funny if we're just randomly shouting them out.
Look, we're going to give
Hey,
them a
Julian
shout out.
Smith.
Hey, Julian Smith. Hey, pop song professor. I talked to that guy.
Is he live right now?
Julian Smith?
So
You live right now?
I can't vouch for the
Integrity?
Yeah, well, I mean
The
they seemed pretty clean to me when clean like decent to listen to.
They don't say wordy dirds, but they're definitely racist, probably.
Maybe, I have no idea, but they seem fun and entertaining. The Most Extreme Podcast, that's MOST Extreme, not EXT, but X.
XTR.
Yeah, Extreme Podcast. They haven't put any like of the recent stuff up on YouTube to my knowledge.
All right, these
Yeah,
guys.
that's them.
Wait, 4 subs?
Yeah, four. I'm one of those.
Man,
one of these.
They haven't put any recent stuff up
I know
on,
we're small, but let's blow them up to let's try to get them.
let's get them at least 50.
At least 50?
I think
I don't know if we have that kind of backing,
I think
guys.
they're posting
Okay.
primarily on.
Maybe if we did it on our studio channel, we'd get their backing.
No, let's do what we can to get them to over 200.
I'd be happy. I'd be happy to do that.
If we can get I'm gonna create a reel out of this, and we got to go to any social media.
How about
everything we've got.
This has to be a long game.
Yeah.
All right. So listen, the most extreme. Let me zoom into extreme for you video watchers, so you can get an idea on how to spell it. Okay.
We're gonna do a little research. If we don't like them and we don't want to promote them, then
You
we're
won't
gonna,
hear us talk about them again.
Yeah, we're gonna just be like, nope.
For now, go sample the content at your own risk. The most extreme,
Did
or
you
just
listen to a podcast?
most
I
extreme.
didn't listen to a whole
podcast.
podcast. I listened to the one they did on like one of their more recent ones. Yeah, like Far, Far Away, Shrek.
Okay, gotcha.
Or maybe it was Spy Kids I was listening to.
Okay,
I think they post most of their stuff on Spotify.
Wait a minute. This is
I got Spotify.
Yeah, it's like
10
10 months
months
ago.
ago.
But they're uploading like updates and Instagram posts on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
more recent stuff, and the more recent podcasts on Spotify.
So check this out. Let me search them on Spotify. If you guys
Yeah.
like Spotify, go maybe follow them there. Let's see. The most, or it's not the most, it's just most.
Most Extreme Podcast. You spelled it wrong.
Oh, I did do it with it.
There they
There
are.
it is. Okie doke.
See, did
So,
they post anything? Yeah, look, June 2nd. They post,
Sky High.
like every month or so.
Oh, so they've got a lot more on Spotify. Just
Yeah,
YouTube
a
is
lot
not
more on
not
Spotify.
going.
And their I liked it because their niche is like the 2000s.
Does it show how many followers they have on?
It says the only 2000s pop culture podcast.
They don't have any ratings from what I see. So we've got, I think, 1 or 2 ratings.
Yeah.
So you guys can go listen to them and give them a rating. Culture, entertainment, comedy. That sounds like us.
Sounds like us, man.
That sounds a lot like us. Maybe they're the competition. Maybe we shouldn't be getting people to go over to the most extreme.
I saw this and I thought, these guys seem like fun, pop culture kind of loving dudes. And I really like their niche of being just only 2000s.
Yeah.
It's like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
There's
absolutely.
so much in the 2000s that you could explore.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So, most extreme podcasts. We'll tag you in an Instagram video or something.
Mm-hmm.
We'll let you know we're talking about you. And we wish you the best.
Yeah.
If you guys want us to come on your podcast or you're interested in coming on ours, maybe we'll talk to you guys. But first, I need to sample your content because now I'm going off Wyatt's word.
Yeah, he's just going off like
I don't know nothing about you.
I'm giving them the benefit of a doubt.
Okay, wait. Let's.
Most extreme podcast.
The 2000s were a weird time in pop culture. When Survivor
They
and
were.
American Idol were the shows, Tobey Maguire was Spider-Man, and there were 4 Cheetah Girls. We played Game Boy and Wii Sports. The Black Eyed Peas were on our iPods. MySpace and Napster were king. Dance Dance Revolution, Lance Armstrong, Tamagotchi, Croc sandals. It will make you say, is any of that really popular? I'm Alejandro Joaquin. I'm Barack Obama. And I'm Brett Elson. We are the hosts of Most Extreme Podcast, the show about 2000s pop culture nostalgia. Join us as we dig into the history
Alrighty.
of one of the weirdest and most exciting decades.
I like your intro, guys.
Yeah, that's fun.
Fellas.
Barack Obama.
I'm Barack Obama.
They nailed it with a lot of those audio clips.
Yeah,
Those
a lot of
classic 2000s audio clips.
Great work. Looking forward to getting to know you fellas. Thank you.
What's our first topic?
Well, let's talk about it. All right, the first thing we're going to talk about is we're going to hit up a controversial topic, okay?
Oh, no.
We've touched on this before. We've messed around. But the big thing is we're going to be pitting 2 franchises together.
Oh, okay.
However, they're similar. What I'm talking about is Lord of the Rings versus The
Rings
Hobbit.
of Power. Oh.
No.
We're not talking about the Rings of
Let's
Power.
stick away from the Rings of Power for
I wanted to get woke.
this episode.
I want to talk about Lord of the Rings, Rings of Girl Power.
Rings of Girl
And I
Power.
wanted to get woke.
So the answer, the problem that I'm
Wait,
seeing
the answer,
online.
what's the answer?
The problem that I'm seeing online is that people are still wondering, why is Lord of the Rings better than The Hobbit? Or to make it negative, why is The Hobbit so much worse than Lord of the Rings?
I think
When
it
you
all
have
comes
like,
down to
you know.
hit the homies with it.
What a Peter Pan.
I don't know. I got nothing
Tank.
for you. I mean, we've always said not realism, the
Practical effects.
practical. That's the word I was looking for. Practical in Lord of the Rings is superior to the animation in The Hobbit.
Okay.
That's not necessarily true. We just always say that.
The animation in The Hobbit is superior than the animation
In Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty obvious. You can see that. You can look. It's newer technology, newer techniques. But for some reason, the practical effects lend the sort of weight and heft and realism to the original series that just feels right.
Yeah, it do feel right. Now, I will
What
say
are you
this.
whatting?
The dragon flame is sick. I've never seen this poster before.
Joshua.
The smoke.
I wonder what you're talking about.
It's not even the
The
right
dragon.
dragon. Like, if it's supposed to be Smaug, look, it's got front legs.
Yeah, front legs.
What are you saying? It's not a.
It's not a. Well, technically, you're gonna make me do this voice the entire time.
Yep.
Smaug is a wyvern.
Wyvern. Yeah.
And that's clearly a
This
drake.
cloud is
It's a drake,
a drake.
not a wyvern.
What a not a wavebird.
Now I don't know.
The specifics. This could be fan made.
technicals.
Fan made get contextual problems all the time. Continuity.
I do
issues
think
and whatnot.
in like the old cartoon one of The Hobbit, he was a drake.
Oh, so they be
legs.
changing it up.
All right.
And I don't
It's
think
okay. I like it.
I don't
We
think
need
they
to
say
nail
in the
though.
book.
We got to nail this though.
I don't know if they
Why is the
Nail it down.
Hobbit? Because we talked about practical effects. Yes. Blah, 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 blah. We've repeated ourselves multiple times over with this department. But why is the Hobbit not as good as Lord of the Rings?
Okay. 30 seconds on the clock.
Tick, tick.
Okay. 3 books, 3 movies. 1 book, 3 movies. That means you have to add stuff. That's That means, I mean, things don't add up here.
Joshua keeps rolling the Peter Pan.
No, they have to add a lot of stuff that is not in the book in the movies because there's 3 movies.
And we had a conversation about this recently where they added a whole bunch of stuff that's not in the books, and then they shortened a lot of the stuff that's actually in the books.
Yes, that is true.
Okay, yeah.
So it feels a little bit disjointed. I'm okay with it. I don't like when books start doing, or movies or TV shows start doing fast travel.
Okay.
Where it's like a journey that's supposed to take 5 weeks.
And happens to be unexpected.
A journey that's supposed to take 5 weeks or months.
Yes.
Okay. And you start off with these characters, and then we do a little bit. We do some montage, we do some B-roll, we do some of them walking on mountaintops, and then we get to maybe halfway to their destination. Excuse me, and all of the kind of energy between the characters is exactly the same.
Okay.
There's no difference.
Yeah.
Even though when you spend months with people, eating outside and sleeping outside and sharing space and
fighting next to each other and walking for hours and hours on end, you would think that you become pretty tight.
Characters would get to know each other better and not be like, I'm not sure about you. 6 months later, still not sure about you. And then, but after tomorrow, when we have that battle and you save my life,
you're a homie, bro.
You're a homie.
What is it? It was 11 months to the day. Since
something like
since Weathertop. Are you talking about the end of Lord of the Rings?
No.
That's what you were saying. That's what you were quoting.
No, yeah.
It's been 11. It's been 1 year and something months to the day.
11 months and 29 minutes.
He says that in The Hobbit too, doesn't?
I don't know.
Some quote.
And I'm not sure about you.
And I'm not sure about you. Okay, so let's do this. Why did you skip forward?
You
don't like this picture?
No,
I don't know how you find
the whack,
most janky.
Look, first off, the camera that's way over there that we show the thing on can't see the low quality.
I'll give you that.
Second of all, I download a high quality image, but there's this new thing with Google Images that downloads a web, I think it's called a BD or something file, and it's not really a picture file. So I have to go in and take screenshots, and sometimes online they're advertising really high quality picture, and when I download it, it's super low quality. So I don't know what to tell you.
I love Minecraft as well.
All right, so let's get into this. What does Lord of the Rings have that we love so much that The Hobbit does not?
But let's see, character development.
Let's not hate on The Hobbit too much because I think ultimately it's a good story. The problem is we're pitting it against Lord of the Rings because it's the same.
Development. Better action and fighting, practical effects.
Feels more gritty. Feels
longer
more realistic.
travel.
Higher stakes.
Higher stakes. The lines between people for some reason feel more natural.
Oh yeah, the higher stakes. Yeah,
they took a lot longer time filming Lord of the Rings than they did The Hobbit.
True.
The thing I enjoyed in the first movie, but did not get in the second two, The Hobbit, because it was more of a teen book and more of an adventure. There was a lot of, far over, and the music, poems,
the mystery, the lore.
Well, the music and the poems
that were based around the Psalms that were written out in Tolkien's
there were a lot of songs in The Hobbit.
The book
and
itself.
we got the perfect amount in the first movie, in my opinion. There was not overwhelming, but there was a few.
So you're saying they took a detour?
The first and second, third movie, none. No poems, no.
I would say the first movie felt magical. It felt like the start of an adventure.
Except towards the end, where everything became animated with the wolves and the orcs and everything, you know?
Everything's animated, like they're running from the goblins and...
The trees, everything's animated.
Every time the dwarves get into an encounter, it was almost as if whoever was writing the action sequence was like, you guys remember like the best part of Lord of the Rings, right? And
let's do that.
And everybody was like, yeah, it was the gritty action and how real it felt. And they were like, no, it was when Legolas did cool stuff. So let's make all of the dwarves the ability to do that, but they're dwarves, so they're kind of bumbling through cool stuff.
So it's like cool clumsy,
and I hate it. Every time I see the barrel scene, I hate it. I like when they're running through the goblin caves. I hate it because it's like, oh, here's a ladder, and they all climb up, and then it lands over and it breaks. But they create a dwarf ladder. I just.
You don't like the roly-poly sensation.
I don't like the roly-poly sensation of the dwarves.
Okay, no roly-poly, not enough music.
Hold on, we got to point this out. As far as Gollum goes, though, right?
Gollum's amazing.
In The Hobbit, the Gollum slaps.
Everything.
Gollum is
Gollum's cave in The Hobbit.
The first movie was superior.
Crushes it.
The first movie was, I would say,
the more solid,
almost comparable to some of the Lord of the Rings movies.
Yeah,
not as good, but enjoyable. If you put aside some of the the bumbling fantasy elements of the dwarves, all of the Gollum stuff is amazing. Mm-hmm. Every time they're in the cave, I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying that story. Mm-hmm. Overall, I enjoy the story of the first Hobbit movie. Second one, second one, I enjoy quite a bit of the second one as well, except, of course, for the bumbling antics.
Yeah.
I just had a scary thought.
And what's that scary thought, sir?
So they took quite a few years to get the first movie done. They took their time on that. Then a year later, they had to come up with the second one. Then a year after that, they came up with a third one. We've had 10 years, 12 years to come up with Avatar. Then 3 is promised to us in 2 years or 1 year? 2 years, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Then the next
4 is promised to us 2 years after that.
Do you think?
Yes.
Are you worried?
Avatar is going to be...
I don't know. This is my prediction. Actually, let's skip this thought. All right, we'll come back to it because it's a part of what we're talking about later.
Oh yeah, we are talking about Avatar a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. So, one thing I wanted to bring up is that the Fellowship of the Ring had a band of fellows.
Yeah.
And so did the Hobbit. In The Hobbit, the fellows stuck around with each other longer than the Fellowship of the Ring. Mm-hmm. Do you think what connected us with this short-lived fellowship, but not so much with...
What are all their names?
Aragorn, Gandalf, Legolas, Boromir, Gimli, Pippin, Merry, Frodo, and Sam.
What are all the dwarves' names?
Whoa,
Keely?
Wait a minute. Did you just...
What?
I said Pippin.
Merry. Pippin and Merry.
I thought you got him
back. I thought he got it reversed.
I know Pippin and Merry.
I was about to
Don't
say.
screw with me on the difference between Pippin and Merry. Okay.
Do you know all the names of the dwarves?
Dory, Nori, Keely, Willie,
I don't know.
Keely, Sleepy, Angry,
Dwalin,
Dopey.
Do we have a picture of him?
No. Who's Gimli's? Gloin?
Oin.
Yeah. Thorin Oakenshield. I don't know them all.
I don't either.
Bomber.
So you're saying we basically just weren't introduced to them.
You don't get to know. You don't feel like you know the dwarves.
Oh, we got Thorin. We got to know Legolas more.
How many dwarves are on this poster? Thorin?
The main dwarf. But listen, we did actually get to know the Elf King and Legolas a little bit more in The Hobbit than we did the dwarfs. Yeah, they're popping tonight. It's just Tom Cruise.
It's just Tom Cruise.
It's just Tom Cruise.
I don't mind that kind of stuff, but I would have liked to either focus more on the dwarves or something, because none of them have any like real storylines except for a few of them, a few of the main ones. And but they add Legolas in here, and they add what's her face,
the one that wasn't in the book,
the lady that
relationship.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. That's my favorite part of them.
You love the relationship that has nothing to do with the literature.
I love the relationship that has nothing to do with the
guy
literature.
Who hates shoehorned in love stories.
Yes, out of the entire series, that's my favorite part. I love that relationship it's the 2000s like drama, in me. That's like, ooh.
This fella's name is Balin, right?
No.
What's his name?
It's Bard.
Bard
the
Bowman.
Bowman.
Started with a B. Who's Balin? Your mama. I don't know.
Balin's the one with the gray beard that swoops out.
Yeah.
Who
oldest.
They go to his grave in Moria.
Yeah, they go to his grave in Moria in Lord of the Rings. So, I forgot his name now.
Bard.
They actually spent a crap ton of time on Bard,
which is good because he's an important character
in The Hobbit.
But it feels like they spend a lot of unnecessary time with the whole lake town. Spending time with Bard is fine, but Lake Town in general, I don't feel like we need to
brushed through.
They didn't give a final goodbye song, the dwarves, to Thorin, did they, when he died at his funeral? That wasn't in the movie. I don't know if it was in the extended. I don't think it was in the normal.
You're asking a question I can't answer.
I don't know.
What else did Lord of the Rings have? The dragons? No, they had a dragon in Hobbit.
More.
I think, okay, let me say this. I want to say this. The book of The Hobbit was meant for kids to read because the Lord of the Rings was not appropriate for kids to read. That's why Tolkien created it the way it came out, all right? In some ways, the movies take a lighter-hearted feel to the troubles of Middle-earth.
So,
in the same ways the books did.
If you look at it like that, it feels a little bit more fantastically.
More for like a Harry Potter thing.
Because it's more of almost like a story for a younger audience. Almost as if Bilbo wrote it that way.
Yeah.
It's more fantastical. Bilbo wrote it more fantastic than it necessarily was. And if you watch the movies that way, I would say you could thoroughly enjoy them.
I think you can thoroughly enjoy it.
However, that's not how they were made. They weren't made to be more fantastic. They were trying to be fantastic with a lot of the things while also maintaining a lot of the somber seriousness that the original trilogy had.
In some ways, whenever they would bring up the necromancer, it foreshadowed what's coming in Lord of the Rings. So they kind of brought that vibe, especially relating to Gandalf. But at the same time, I think overarching the story does feel like that. I mean, I watched The Unexpected Journey before I watched Desolation of Smaug 2 years later, or 1 year later, I guess it was. And I felt after The Unexpected Journey, I'm like, okay, let me prepare myself. It feels more childish. I'm okay with that. Then we got Desolation of Smaug, and I feel like it wasn't as childish, but there were still some hacks in there. Don't know why they brought in, this big orc battle in Lake Town into the equation with Legolas there.
Right.
But I was like, but Smaug is pretty cool.
We'll take it.
Smaug is pretty cool.
Everything
right?
with Smaug is amazing.
And then we got Battle of the Five Armies, and it felt like I was in a VR world.
This is a cartoon.
Yeah, it's a cartoon.
People are bonking each other on the heads and dying.
Yeah. So the Battle of the Five Armies came out kind of whack, honestly, I think Smaug attacking Lake Town looked really cool visually in the Battle of the Five Armies, but besides that was it. It seems like overall, The Hobbit has really awesome hot pockets.
Yeah, I
Hot
would
pockets.
agree.
Hot pockets of awesomeness.
Hot pockets
A lot of
is-
smog. Benedict Cumberbatch crushed smog, right? Hot pockets.
Would it be more Hot Pockets or
Gollum,
pizza rolls?
it'd be Hot Pockets.
Oh,
Gollum coming in with Gollum's cave, the iconic scene of Bilbo finding the ring and encountering
the riddle battle.
the riddle battle with
The riddle
Smeagol.
battle. The battle of the riddles.
Iconic.
I feel like you guys missed my joke.
No, we definitely did.
We missed it. Well, whoop.
I said hot pockets.
Oh, come on, man.
Sorry. No, you're right. It did, but we also had a lot of war. How many times did they say war in the last movie? War. Get ready for war.
That's just dwarves, bro.
These bats. Legolas said these bats were bred for war. If you do this, you are inciting war. It's like, you mean a battle?
Specifically a battle with
Specifically,
five
a
armies?
battle. Are you trying to invoke a battle of 5 armies? Yeah. Now, I went back and I watched these movies fairly recently.
Okay.
The rings or the
Hobbit.
We
And-
watch The Rings
And
once
I watched
every
them
year.
and I was like, you know what? They're not as bad as I always end up thinking
Yeah.
later. Just like now, I'm like, no, the last one is terrible. The Desolation of Smaug isn't
Pretty good.
you know, it's not
Outside of the
100%,
barrels.
but it's pretty fun. And then I go back and I watch them. I'm like, these are fun movies.
These are fun movies, and this
They-
is the point of the video.
They're fun blockbuster movies, but they are not what the original 3 were.
That's true.
Which
This-
are trend-setting, iconic,
dark,
like masterful filmmaking movies.
masterful.
Yeah.
Mask.
The thing is, we have to take into consideration. Peter Jackson is and will always be one of my favorite directors. At the same time, I give him the benefit of the doubt and say he was trying to make Hobbit feel like the Hobbit book, not like the Lord of the Rings book, okay? He added a lot of unnecessary stuff, but at the same time, it's a fun adventure. I'm only mad at it because I read The Hobbit like 3 times,
Yeah.
all right? So I know what takes place in the book, and I know what doesn't take place in the book. At the same time, he did similar stuff with Lord of the Rings, okay? And we're not going to fault Peter Jackson for what he did. I would say he didn't hit it on the nose as hard as Lord of the Rings, but it was a good effort. We still enjoyed it. We got awesome moments in the process. And yes, although The Hobbit does not live up to the standard of storytelling and visual cinematography masterpiece,
Visual excellence.
filmmaking excellence
Making. Okay.
that Lord of the Rings portrays, it's still a good series.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're to say why isn't The Hobbit as good as The Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit movies are blockbusters. Lord of the Rings are films.
Yeah.
And that's what I would say. The Lord of the Rings are filmmaking at its best. The Hobbit movies are blockbuster movies.
Pretty much. They're the Christmas movies.
Right.
The ones that come out around Christmas where your whole family goes to watch. And like you had a good time with your family, but ultimately slightly disappointed with the film.
It's like, you know, Dune is a filmmaking film, right? And a great adventure and exercise and what we can do with visuals and sound and everything.
Yep.
You know,
Star Wars
Thor Ragnarok, you know, Thor Love and Thunder is going to be a summer blockbuster.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes, it is. Same with Dominion, Jurassic World.
Yeah.
I remember when the Hobbits came out. We got our tickets.
Dude, it's an event.
As soon as it came, as you could, we went to the premiere. This is when you could do the midnight premiere, which they don't allow anymore. For people always ruin it for.
Yeah.
We dressed up in the Hobbit.
That's when-
We get there at like 10:30 when it's not there. Starting until 12, and we have tickets already. We get there to get the seat and everything. We're all dressed up in
As a hobbit.
As a hobbit.
I was barefoot rolling up in the...
Dang.
We were.
Ew.
We were all.
I was actually wearing flip-flops, but for any pictures that was
Okay.
taken of me, I took my flip-flops off.
Okay.
We dressed up. We did everything we
We
could.
had friends with us.
We did. We made it a whole event. It was like the Oscars.
I
No,
curled
probably
my...
not.
I grew out my hair and curled it
Wait, what?
to watch that movie.
I thought you were gonna say
Amazing.
something else, but yeah, it was good. You wanna move past this though?
So yeah, that's why The Hobbit was not as good as Lord of the Rings. But that does not mean you cannot enjoy it.
Yeah, I'd say you can go back and thoroughly enjoy the movies. I did.
Take this as a prompt.
It was like a weekend or something that we had come back from a trip and I was feeling down. And I was like, I'm gonna sit here and watch the Hobbit movies.
And it got you, it lifted your spirit.
It did.
Maybe we should do that again for, I know we're in our 20s, almost, getting up there in our 20s for Avatar when it comes out.
Dress up, face paint.
We try to get the earliest showing possible. We somehow do something. We dress up.
I will say
contract Esther to come do Avatar paints for us.
Ooh.
It's gonna be difficult.
Before we move completely on, I will say that The Hobbit is the first Lord of the Rings movie I ever saw.
That's true, which is wild to think about.
My dad, our campground had a flood, so we were living in one of the little cabins while we were renovating the house. My dad came home. It was just me and my dad and my other sibling, the boys. It was the boys.
The boys.
And so he was like, I got The Hobbit from Redbox. Let's watch it.
And you're like,
yeah. Mom never lets us watch Lord of the Rings. And so he put it in and we watched it and we enjoyed the crap out of it.
Yeah.
And then he came home later. He's like, I got all 3 Lord of the Rings films. Let's watch all of them. So we did that too.
Heck yeah. See,
filmmaking at its best.
At its best. Let me tell you guys this. We need to thank Karina. For being a Patreon supporter. Not only is Karina enjoying stuff early, but she's enjoying exclusive content that Joshua and Wyatt put out occasionally. It's watching through films.
Movie commentaries.
Watch parties. We got pre-show, a mini podcast that's 20-25 minutes long. You got to be $10 or more to watch that, but we got it on there.
It's all good.
And we got the video version of the Midnight Special on a couple of the tiers over on Patreon.
If you want to, for the most part, you can listen to the Midnight Special, and it's awesome.
It is awesome.
But, on the Patreon, you can go on and watch the Midnight Special as well.
And let me tell you this. Wyatt doesn't wear pants during the Midnight Special.
That's not true. Don't listen.
But he does do a lot of expressive gestures that you don't see.
If I'm not sitting here like this.
Just holding the side.
I'm holding the side of my mic like usual. But thank you.
Thank you, Karina.
For being on the Patreon. And please check out the Patreon, everybody.
Links in the description. So, let's get into it. Avatar, The Way of Water. New poster, by the way.
Very cool.
Isn't that pretty sick?
It is very sick.
Look at the detail. Look at how perfect.
Yes. I am really excited for this movie.
You ought to be.
It was such an event when it came out. I remember it came out, 2008, 2009?
Something like that.
And I was hearing about it. I was seeing pictures, on Facebook and things of people going out and, just the crowds of people seeing Avatar. I'm like, what is this Avatar thing that everybody's talking about, everybody's going to see? And then we finally watched it. And I was like, oh, I understand now.
Makes sense.
It's awesome.
It makes sense.
There's a lot going on with Avatar and James Cameron as we are moving closer and closer with every month that passes to December.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
We are getting more and more feedback about what the film is about, the details of the specs of the film, and what the audience has to say about it. As of right now, the film looks to be dang near
perfect.
Over 3 hours.
Woo! Sheesh.
I think it might be 2.5, but I think we're hitting 3. All right, and James Cameron, and people are like, why? Why is it so long? We just got Batman that was way too long. Why is it so long?
No.
And then James Cameron is like, I will not apologize.
Look at the movies. Look at the long movies that we've gotten. Dune, 3+ hours. Batman 3+ hours. This 3+ hours. It seems like if you want to do a big movie and you want to do it right and you're gonna have an artistic thing about it,
3+.
do 3+ hours. Let people enjoy the movie.
Let them sit back and sink in.
I mean, we got Titanic. That's almost 4 hours.
If you want to sit back and watch a movie, and it doesn't have to be a movie that you watch over and over again. It can be.
I definitely am gonna watch.
It can be a long movie that people will watch and then talk about.
Yes, and believe me, if you don't think between this channel and that one and our other one, if we're not going to be milking the crap out of Avatar.
I want to talk about Avatar so much.
Okay, I want to show you guys some stuff.
Wait, before we move on, this can't be CG, right?
It is.
Look at the skin at the edge of her mouth.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Yeah, it's textured.
Even on this picture.
Dude, it's 2022.
Yeah.
Look at her eyes.
And this actually, this looks like a picture that was taken with a kind of like
12K
probably
camera.
like an 85 or a 50 mil lens, because of the extreme shallow depth of field mixed with the specific focal length. Oh, let me tell you. So the image looks as real as it gets.
Yeah,
if you want a person to look basically the way they do in real life, take their picture with a 50 mil lens. All right. A prime gives you extremely shallow depth of field. So her hair in the background, completely out. This side of her face out. The tip of her nose is out.
Yeah.
The only thing that's in is the eyeball.
Her eyes and the skin.
On the corner of her mouth. Her lips are out.
Yeah. Her
Just
teeth,
right here in the eyes.
those teeth that you can see with the shine on them.
Yep.
Those are in.
So there's been a few more images released. This was the front cover of a magazine.
Very cool.
Isn't
looks
that pretty
amazing.
sick?
Wait, that kind of looks like
Now this is the water.
moko, or you know what I'm talking? What I mean by moko? Like it's a very Hawaiian,
Samoan tattoos.
Yeah, Samoan facial tattoos.
Yeah, they get
they
the
definitely-
face tattoos around their chin and mouth.
Yeah, that looks very
cool.
For sure. This is, I actually wanted to bring this up really quick. I want to go to the IMDb because the lady who plays, I can't remember her name, the lady who plays the lead woman in the Titanic is playing that character. I'm about to pull it up.
I know her name.
Avatar, The Way of Water.
Oh yeah, it's all about family. Kate Winslet.
Yep.
Kate Winslet. So Kate Winslet is playing a character named Ronald. They don't really.
Wait, go back to
on
that
Pandora.
other picture. Can you show me that?
On
picture?
Pandora,
No.
they don't really roll their R's, right? It's just it's just Ronald, right?
Wait. Go up to the
So
the
this is Kate Winslet, and I have a few more pictures of her character. She apparently is pregnant. In this.
Character is pregnant?
Her character is pregnant. Let me show you. Oh, and I think this is her when she's a little girl, because I'm starting to make the connection. Because they look the same. Like, this is her with the tattoos, all right? They have a greenish hue to their skin, naturally.
Could be her daughter.
Could be her daughter. I think it's her when she was younger. I think
Okay.
this is a back.
Can be.
I think this is a back flash. A flashback.
Backflash.
Look at the dots on her face. See if any of them match up.
Okay, on the tip of the nose.
On the nose.
On the nose. Check it out. On the nose.
On the nose and the lips are the same dots.
Okay, so it could. I think that's her. This is her as the age in the film, Ronald, and she has a greenish hue, which you pointed out to me in I think our trailer reaction that the Pandora locals that are
Na'vi.
close to the ocean, the Na'vi, they actually have a greenish hue to their skin, like the ones at the
I think
ocean.
it's amazing. I think
It's a new
very
tribe.
cool.
This is gonna be so good.
Yeah, and see, she's pregnant.
Is that her?
That's
No,
her.
that's not
Is
her.
that Vin Diesel?
Yeah, that's
not.
Ronald.
Is that Vin Diesel?
No, it's not.
Is that Vin Diesel?
She don't have the tattoos.
She do. That's Renault. I'm telling you, dude.
I think that is.
It's not Natiri. There she is again. Renault.
Okay.
It's her. I'm telling you.
Go back to that. Is it Vin Diesel?
That might be Vin Diesel.
Dang, he's tall.
Hold on. Let's go to IMDb, see what Vin Diesel's character's name is.
Wait, hold on.
See if it sounds Pandorian.
These look so much different than the...
They do. They have
The
different
other
facial
Pandora,
features and everything.
Navi.
Where is Vin Diesel at? He's not here. Maybe it was a...
I think you guys have been talking about Vin Diesel being in this movie. I don't know if he's in it.
No,
I don't know if he's in it, dude.
I swear. That's what I've been seeing.
I think that was a fun rumor.
Maybe that was a fun rumor.
Hold on, I'm looking for the cast. Where's just the breakdown?
It's IMDb, dude.
I know.
All cast and crew is right
All
there,
cast and crew.
hidden right in there.
Hidden right in the little. Okay. Do you see Vin Diesel in this list?
Most
Probably would be at the bottom.
Return of the Avatar 2.
I don't see Vin Diesel.
Weatherton, Zoe Saldana, and appearance Vin Diesel will join the cast. Yes.
Looks like Vin Diesel was.
I don't see him. He might have been cut.
He's not named as a character. So Kate Winslet is named so far. Vin Diesel does not have a
But on this
named
list,
character.
on this
On
list, he's not even
IMDb,
here.
IMDb, which is more updated than a Google search.
Yeah,
he's not
even
here.
He could have been cut.
He might have been cut.
Dang.
That would be...
Or Google just don't know what they're talking about, all right? Like so much of what they do. So, it looks like not only is it around Natiri, not only is it around Jake Sully, but it looks like Renault, this character, this woman character who's pregnant, gonna lean very heavily into her story, whatever it may be.
Yeah. Well, I think she's probably the because they have the spirit leader of the Navi of the tribe.
Ewa.
No, that's the god.
No. The god.
I don't remember what she's called, but
Natiri's mama.
Yeah, and then Natiri becomes her when her mom dies.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's probably that for this.
Oh, you think?
For this people, yeah.
It looks like she's just the queen of this tribe.
That's essentially what it is.
Oh, the queen gets to be the spiritual leader.
Yeah, like he's the king.
Yeah,
and
she's the queen.
As the queen, she's the spiritual leader.
Her hands are huge.
That's what they do.
Good for swimming.
Good for swimming.
Good for swimming.
Swimming women.
Check it out. They do have a gale, a fin
Almost
like
a
hand.
fin like hand.
It looks like a fin.
Their hands are big.
Their hands are good for swimming.
It's different than theirs because theirs was like skinny and long.
Yeah,
and
which they do primarily.
What are you doing?
Hush. They do primarily climbing, not them. And
go back
not
to the
her
pregnant
either.
picture. I want to see her hands.
Yeah,
they're
keep switching
they're
these weird
switching.
photos.
They're fin-like.
Quit switching.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Go to the next one.
I think she has her hands in the water in this one.
Okay.
But look at that fin on his hand.
His hands, look, it goes all the way up his arm.
Mm-hmm.
It do.
Yeah, look at that.
Okay, and she has a little crease as well.
Check out his face. Sick.
He's got tattoos like crazy. All right, so there's going to be incredible detail. And I don't think like, shout out to the Corridor crew.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're the ones putting respect on this.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people online being like, whatever.
Right.
Whatever to this animation in this film. Whatever. No. Check it out.
Let me hit back a little bit. Okay, I'm just looking.
What you need to do is go watch Corridor Crew Reacts. Find their one that they did on the Avatar trailer, and just hear experts in the world of animation react to the trailer. They talk about
this scene, like one scene. They talk about one like
no, not scene, a shot.
One like 1 second shot for almost the entire episode, and they explain what people are saying. Oh, the animation doesn't look as good. This isn't the same. This doesn't look the same, and they're like, no, this is way different and way better.
It's that situation where you're like, dude, you don't even know the complexity.
I have no idea. And that's what they're doing. They're on the couch and they're telling you, no, this is way
high end,
way high. They had to have like 4 or 5 new patents.
They were saying stuff like, we don't even know how you export an image like this. So that means This is still revolutionary animation.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And we already talked about, and they mentioned this, and I actually mentioned it before I watched their video when we watched the trailer.
Yeah.
Like the details of the shadows, specifically when there's shadows casted with leaves and everything. In the first film, when you look at the shadows, everything's very soft light because it's easier to create soft light and soft shadows. When you create harsh shadows that have to match perfectly with the source of the shadow in the image, then gosh dang it, and the lighting dispersion needs to be perfect. It's brilliant. I spotted it.
I love this dude all the way to the left. His hair.
Yeah.
Look at it. He's just got it down.
Sick.
That's what your hair looks like. Wet.
Hey, bro, you want to go hang out? You wanna go do something?
What's up, bro?
Yeah, but let me finish rendering this video first. Okay, what's timeline look like? Let me see. It's Wednesday right now. I'm good for about 2 more weeks, so I'll be busy.
I was gonna say the line. It's like next year.
Yeah.
For one shot. I also like the mangrove style roots in the background.
Yeah.
To fit the water vibe.
Yeah. Look, this film is going to be off the hook.
Yeah.
Off the chain.
Is the story gonna be amazing? I don't know.
I'm gonna say this. The story might be a carbon copy of the first film.
Tarzan.
We got Tarzan here.
That Tarzan kid.
We got Tarzan kid. So it's like the first film story, but in water, and there's a Tarzan.
And there's a Tarzan.
Who might be the kid of Jake Sully.
Maybe.
Or the adopted kid.
Or adopted kid.
It can't be the carbon copy. It's gonna be different.
I swear I've seen blue patches on this kid's skin.
You swear?
I'm almost positive in the trailer.
You could be throwing out propaganda on the internet.
I have no
right now,
idea.
bro.
I have no idea. Maybe my mind is tricking me into because I want him to be Jake's kid so bad. I'm like, he got blue on his skin.
I think he's a runaway and Jake adopted and
Maybe.
raised him. And he just has to keep this annoying mask on his face his whole life.
That would suck.
That would
suck. Imagine the crease lines you get right here.
Everybody else in your life for your whole life is like,
Just chill.
we get to breathe cool air.
And he's like, I've been stuffed in this face greenhouse
Face mask forever.
since I was 3 years old.
Interesting.
Dang it, dude. Either way, any final thoughts? What was the other thing? Oh, I wanted to bring this up. James Cameron has released that he's considering, and there's a possibility that he's going to do this film and number 3.
And he's done.
But 4 and 5 he might not be the director of.
Ooh, no. Nobody can do better. Well, let me not say that. We'll see.
As long as he's involved in the process, I'm okay with like
He's getting older. He might be like, I'm ready to retire, and I've signed on for 4 more of these
directors
films.
who can do this movie. Clearly, we've seen other directors that can do similar stuff, better stuff, in fact.
Give 4 and 5 to Peter Jackson. See what he does.
Yeah, or Denis Villeneuve. You know?
Frick. Give it to Denis when he's done with Dune.
If at that point you're going to have like pretty well established, you know, how these stories play out and how they look on screen, you could give them to a director that's just good at recreating what has been done in the past and make it look really good and make the story interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Honestly, like if they kept whatever quality they're bringing to the table here over the next 4 films, I think we'd be happy as long as they really fleshed out the stories.
Right.
You know, they don't have to keep doing new animation. Once you've reached basically real,
Real.
you don't have to keep making it better. Just craft the story
Craft
well.
the story.
You know?
I'm going to say their tails are wider too.
Wider.
Look at that dude in the background. Look how wide his tail is.
Look at how wide her tail is.
Look at this dude in the background.
Yeah.
Holy
He's got a
cow.
thick boy tail.
Yeah, it's for swimming, dude.
Yeah.
Sick.
I keep noticing new things in every image we look at.
This is what 13 years of thought and preparation creates.
Yeah.
Just details out the wazoo, right?
A little overwhelmed by this film. This is going to be a lot to go into.
A little overwhelmed?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot to go into.
All right. Well, let's back into something that's a little more chill then. How about that?
Okay.
You guys good with that? A film recently came out on Netflix called The Man of Toronto.
No. Well, we hyped up Avatar a lot, so it's time to do the bashing for the episode.
Hold on.
The bash.
We can say
Why?
I already explained to you why.
Okay, never mind.
On that camera, it looks great. They wouldn't know if you didn't say.
It's an 8-bit image.
It looks so good when I downloaded it.
It's fine. It's fine. It works. I don't know where to start with this movie.
Okay, first off, we don't have to give like a review.
Okay.
Because our thing, we're not exclusively this,
No.
but our thing is like, what's an exciting story? Fantasy, sci-fi, thriller, sometimes horror. We don't necessarily lean into like kind of mildly family-friendly comedies. All right, that's not our
family
thing.
friendly, but
When do we ever lean into that thing? Because
we don't. But going into this film, stepping back from it and saying, what was this film? I see clearly what they were going to be doing.
Yeah.
They didn't lean into certain parts that would have made it better, in my opinion. Like, the title is The Man from Toronto. I would have loved to see a scene where, hi, I'm the man from Toronto. I'm the man from Las Vegas. I'm the man from...
we kind of got that.
They did that in like a terrible way.
Yeah, it wasn't in a comical... They didn't do it right.
It was in a... They tried to do what Josh is saying, but they didn't execute well.
Not
Okay.
quite.
They didn't execute the "I'm the man from" moment well. And we were talking over text about this, like the movie tropes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh,
All right, hold on.
the movie tropes in this movie.
This is what I wanted to do because I kind of know how we feel about this film.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, if anyone's listened to us for long enough, they know kind of how we feel about this film.
Mm-hmm.
It was a story. It's a format troped option. Kevin Hart had a few laughs. Woody Harrelson had a few laughs. Together, they created a story that was completely middle of the road. All right?
I would say less than middle of the road.
Well,
Maybe slightly under middle of the
It
road.
was kind of-
Hold on, let me finish. Because I don't want to do a review of The Man from Toronto.
Yeah.
All right? What I want to do is I want us to look at this film and I want us to look at two things. Okay. I want us to look at, is Kevin Hart following a specific film style in his big blockbusters or big releases? And then the other thing is I wanted to look at this and dive into some movie tropes like you brought up, Wyatt.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have a website pulled up that breaks down the movie tropes from this film.
So, I would agree with the first thing you said. I saw this film, a slightly better film than this, called Ride Along. And it was...
With Kevin Hart?
No, Kevin Hart and Cube.
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube.
But he does this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Hart, somebody else, duo movie.
Buddy Cop.
Get
Not
Hard.
Buddy Cop, but-
Let me pull it
What
up.
was the other one? Central Intelligence. What was the other one?
I'm just going to pull up his IMDb.
Okay. All right.
You don't have to try to
That's
remember
whatever.
nothing.
That's awesome. I was going to try to remember them all for the people. They probably wanted
Kevin
to.
Hart movie in it? Is it?
Okay.
Kevin Hart the first.
The first,
I
dang.
don't-
He's playing.
No, I'm just...
Okay, so
I don't know.
Central
Fatherhood was
Intelligence.
really good.
Kind of the same thing. Ride Along.
Right along.
Kind
The
of
same thing.
All right. I think Me Time was kind of the same thing. Wait, it hasn't been out yet.
Yeah.
What am I thinking? Fatherhood. It's not the same.
No, Fatherhood was clearly its own
Fatherhood's
thing.
different.
It was
But
good.
the same. Hold on.
What?
Not the same, but the same.
No,
Rated
no,
PG-13. Safe for families. He's funny in it. There's some heart in it.
No, I would...
Some heart in it.
No, it was clearly about being a father, and it was more of a drama piece than a comedy.
Yeah, it was-
Look,
a
think
drama
outside the
piece.
box.
It was more of a drama piece than
Look,
a comedy.
You're thinking storyline surface level. I'm talking about the style of films that people watch. There is a family-friendly style of film that flirts with PG-13
Okay, but it was a drama piece
that
rather
he
than
stars in a
comedy.
lot.
It was a comedy drama piece. It wasn't.
Comedy drama.
It was.
That's
yes,
literally
but-
what I'm trying to say.
Okay, but it's not a
Was
comedy
his acting
action.
the same?
It was not a comedy action.
No, his acting is not the same, but ultimately it's all Kevin.
I wouldn't lump it into the.
I just watched this movie, Fatherhood, not too long ago, and because I had not seen it, and it's clearly different.
Hold on, I need to pull up a different list.
I need to be able to like
Just
see
go
the-
to. Can
I
we
need to
go to
see the
Google?
pictures. Yeah, I'm going to Google, even though it's not superior.
But
All right.
still.
IMDb in their wacky,
Format?
janky format.
Yeah.
Movies and TV.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jumanji is similar stuff. Get Hard, similar stuff. Ride Along 2, similar.
Fatherhood,
Ride Along
different,
3.
but
I
same.
don't know if that's a thing.
The Wedding Ringer. Okay. Fatherhood with The Wedding Ringer, with Night School. These are all the same vibe of films.
Yeah.
It's
They're
family
rom-com.
friendlies. It's about
family
families.
friendly. Kevin
Comedies.
Hart comedy.
Get Hard was rated R because it was a
Right.
Will Ferrell film.
Yeah.
But it ultimately is the same. It's about
It's the
going to
same.
jail and it's funny, okay?
Yeah, kind of buddy cop style.
Yeah, exactly. So he's kind of recently,
Hobbs
his
and Shaw.
big
He
hits.
was in Hobbs and Shaw.
He was also in The 40-Year-Old
so.
Virgin.
I don't think he was in.
I don't think he was in that either.
Look, his bigger stuff, all
Yeah.
right? The only thing he's done kind of recently that's not following a similar format is maybe The Upside, which is has a little bit more heart to it, less comedy.
Yep.
Mhm.
And then True Story, which is like this dark kind of Breaking Bad vibe kind of show about him and his brother, fictional, right?
Not seen that.
But it's following. It's interesting. True Story is because it's on Netflix. If you want to watch it, it's about he's a famous comedian, like Kevin Hart is, and he has a brother in Philadelphia, which he's from Philadelphia, who's problematic and gets him into trouble.
Mhm.
All right.
So what was the question again in the beginning?
The question is he following a format, and also what tropes is he following?
the Kevin Hart kind of format
Yeah.
is Kevin Hart humor. He knows, like,
He knows what his thing is.
he knows what his thing is, and his thing is, he talks kind of fast sometimes. It's funny to be a little bit self-deprecating. He's short.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. He understands that. He knows that. In this movie especially, he leans into I feel like a failure.
Yeah.
Kind of a failure. And
he realizes himself with
Right.
the help of a ethically questionable man.
yeah,
You know?
ethnically.
Ethically.
I was about to say. I'm pretty sure ethnically we know what Woody Harrelson is.
Fun fact: Woody and Kevin had to apologize publicly for this film,
Really?
Why?
and nobody had their back. Why didn't they get someone from Canada on this film?
I don't know what
Wait,
you're
what?
saying. We don't know what you're saying because you haven't.
They had to
told us why
apologize for throughout the film calling it Toronto because the native dialect, everybody from Canada, which Woody Harrelson should be because he's from Toronto, should be Toronto,
Toronto.
not Toronto.
Ah.
So they had to apologize.
Okay. All right. Listen.
Go on a rant.
Listen. As Americans, if it says Toronto, we're gonna say Toronto because it's.
Yeah.
I would assume Toronto is like a Native American name, and if
sounds
not,
like it.
sounds like a Native American name.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna say Toronto.
And people in Canada or people from Toronto say Toronto.
Say Toronto.
Toronto.
And I thought about it, and I remember like, oh yeah, Jordan Peterson, a personality I listen to, whenever he talks about Toronto, he says
Toronto.
Toronto. Toronto. Toronto.
Is that your best, Jordan? It's Toronto.
It's Toronto.
I thought he was Irish for the longest time for some reason.
No, he's just from Canada, dog. You know them Canadians. Canadians are crazy.
Canadians. Whack,
Canadians.
crazy.
Canadians.
Canadians. All right.
Canadians.
So let's look at some of the tropes that this hit. All right.
Is this the trope website you got?
This is the trope website I got. All right.
Kinda looks
It
like
has
an
a whole
advertisement
list.
Oh my gosh.
It hits so many tropes, and you
Okay, here we go.
texted me a few of these,
Yeah.
so you kind of nailed it on the head. But it hits quite a few.
Yeah.
So the big bad. At first, it seems like the assassin attempt on the Venezuelan president is the main villainous scheme, and that is indeed thwarted by Teddy and Randy's efforts. So the big bad, that doesn't make sense to me. Their description of why it might be the big bad trope.
Does
Does that make sense to you?
Teddy borrows cool car.
I don't know.
Train station.
Let's see the ones that you pointed out to me.
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense to you. So as I scroll
Dark
through,
is
stop me.
not evil.
These-
Heroic deprecation. You said deprecation.
yeah.
I know.
The
Is this
oneer. They had the oneer. The final fight in the gym is done in one take. Hollywood,
Oh, yeah.
please stop doing the one take thing.
Hold on.
We're tired of it. It's
Unless your
boring.
name is Steven Spielberg, because that's your staple.
No, don't.
No,
Spielberg Warner.
no.
You cannot. What's the most recent Steven Spielberg movie that's come out?
West Side Story.
West Side Story.
How good was it compared to his other stuff?
Not that good.
Not that good.
No, it was fantastic.
But what I'm saying is,
Not as good as like his previous stuff.
from the early 70s.
Y'all gotta stop wanking off Steven Spielberg.
I'm telling you,
Stop it.
from the
Stop.
60s, dog, probably since he was a boy. His style has been the oneer.
I don't think it's
Steven
been the
was
oneer.
this close to being the one who invented the oneer.
He established a lot of probably filmmaking styles.
Yes, the oneer.
I think nowadays the oneer isn't interesting anymore.
Not that much.
The oneer's not
we
interesting.
literally had 1917.
In 1917 was an enjoyable oneer. It was good. It
whole
was a
film
good
was a
movie,
oneer.
and it wasn't like a oneer like naturally. There's
Well,
obviously
it's
it's
dang.
obviously cuts,
I'd be impressed by a movie who makes a oneer without actually cutting ever.
but
Like a 2-hour film with never cutting.
Here's the issue.
Would be impossible.
Here's the issue is that a oneer is cool for certain kinds of action sequences as long as it doesn't feel shaky and stunted. This one felt so shaky and so bad.
Password is a trope.
Password is always swordfish. Take logic to its extreme. Yeah. The password is password. Password is 1 2 3 4 5. These are like the weird tropes that are in the movie that
one-offs that you see.
I wouldn't hurt a child.
Okay, that's the one you mentioned.
Yeah, the Minnesota incident. Is that the stinger, heroic self-deprecation, the reason you suck speech. Person is a verb, so they coined Teddy as a verb, meaning to screw something up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when you pull a Teddy,
And they said it a lot,
yeah,
which is kind of like what Andy tried to do in The Office, where he's like, I really shrewded it.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
right.
Yeah. But they did the same thing with I teddied it up
Yeah.
or whatever. So when it comes to this film, do you think what do you think is the appeal for Kevin Hart just doing these kind of blockbustery things that, as you can see from this list, throughout the film hit so many tropes that have been done so many times, it's literally defined by a name, right? And that also earlier you texted me. Let me read like some of the trope names that you texted me, and you can have the opportunity to kind of explain them if you like. Just because it makes the point that this is a very formatted film. So, hitman with a heart.
Yeah.
Buddy cop, protect an innocent tropes.
Yeah.
At the end, it has a hit on hitman, and couldn't kill a kid backstory trope, which we saw here.
Right.
All right.
Wouldn't hurt a child.
Wouldn't hurt a child.
Yeah. Those were like some of the big ones I saw, but like also there's the oneer, there's the everybody has the man from name. There's just so many, the husband doesn't feel like he's good enough, but for some reason has a hot wife. I'm worried about my hot wife hanging out with hot bodyguard.
Yeah.
my wife's best friend is the worst person on the planet, but I think that's actually just reality. I think that one's actually just reality.
Okay, think about this. The hot wife is completely
the slides.
what do you call it? Ignorant to everything that's going on.
There's so many things. It's hard to even put into words how many tropes are in this movie.
It was a movie of tropes.
And I'm gonna say this.
Say it.
Unless, how do I say this? I think that as far as these kind of movies go, I don't know how much input Kevin Hart had into making this movie.
Probably not much, unless it's done by Hart Productions, which I don't think was the case.
Absolutely devoid of creativity.
Yeah.
In any shape or form.
Explain yourself. Go on a rant.
They literally just leaned on the crutch of mediocrity and followed the tropes to the letter. And they're like, this is how action movies work. And they just did everything. They did all the tropes. I'm not just talking for an action movie. I'm talking for the heartfelt moments, tropes. For the sad moments, tropes. For the final like action scenes, tropes. Just everything.
Yeah.
I mean, even, you said like the man from Tokyo pulls up and he pulls out his sword and then he gets hit with a car. I laughed at that part because it was funny. I was like, hilarious. The cool guy rolls up, man from Tokyo pulls out a samurai sword and gets hit with a car. Number one, man from Tokyo pulls out a samurai sword. Trope. Number two, badass guy rolls up and then gets, killed or hurt
in an easy way. That he wasn't expecting.
Yeah, trope.
Yeah, it's definitely a trope.
It's not that I hate the movie. It's just that I detest it on a creative level.
You detest it.
I detest it because it did nothing special. It did nothing unique. None of the dialogue, none of the characters, none of the story, not even any of the action. They had the whole man from Toronto thing, which could have been interesting. That wasn't even fun.
It wasn't really.
The whole movie was this bland, boring,
early 2000s rom-com format.
Like a turkey sandwich with white bread.
It was the worst. No, listen up. I like a turkey sandwich.
And I happen to like it on white bread.
But I put a lot of pepper on those bad boys.
You put so much mayonnaise and pepper.
I don't put so much mayonnaise, all right? You put a thin layer on either side of the bread. And then you slap a bunch of pepper on that bad. Like so much pepper. I can't state how much pepper. Like on both sides of the bread, you cover it.
Yeah.
Okay. You want it to look.
Does this movie have pepper?
If you skin a Dalmatian and put it on there, that's kind of, you want it.
Oh God!
You want it so peppery.
If you freaking Corolla Deville sandwich.
Yeah, that's what you want.
With pepper.
Is there pepper on this movie?
There's no pepper.
Just mayonnaise.
I don't know.
This movie is mayonnaise.
Salt and pepper. If we're talking about skin tone.
We're talking about creatively.
Yeah.
Mayonnaise.
Not
even a good like vinegary mayonnaise.
Ooh.
Okay, let me ask you this.
This is like Miracle Whip.
Okay, hold up. Did it hold your attention through the film?
No. I was watching something.
Yeah, we both were like watching two things at once.
I tried. I every time I looked at the screen, I was like,
all right, so Columbia Pictures and whoever else, Columbia Pictures and Braun Creative Escape Artists, whatever what that is. Sorry,
Woody Harrelson stuff.
No,
I don't
apologize.
No, I'm saying sorry, but your film sucks.
Oh, okay. I was about to say
your film doesn't hold attention.
Don't apologize for them.
And you probably paid Kevin and Woody a crap ton of money.
That's where everything went.
All of it went to these two guys.
That's where all the creativity went.
It's like to pay these two to get in your film. Because we know both Woody and Kevin's time is very high dollar.
And I mean, I thought we were done with this in the like early 2010s. I was like, we were getting to the late 2010s, and I thought we're done with the classic kind of boring action movie. Nobody wants that anymore. We've seen it in Die Hard 5 and Rambo 5.
Rolls up with a PG-13.
Right? I was like, oh, people want something more like John Wick, where they focus on intense, cool, interesting action. Or they want something like The Accountant, where they focus on...
Wait. I would not compare that.
Oh my gosh.
At all.
Would you
Hold on,
please be quiet? Where John Wick, where they focus on action and it's all stunt work. The Accountant, where they focus on a lot of story, less stunt work. Right? Would you say that? Would you say John Wick is more action heavy than The Accountant? Because I would say yes. And The Accountant has more story behind it.
I don't know how that compares to this.
I'm saying, as far like I was saying, those are the action movies that I thought we were getting. I was like, we're done with the old stuff. This is the new stuff.
It's Hollywood. You're not.
This is the new stuff. This is what people want. We've seen that it works and that people like it. It's like, finally, we're getting good stuff. And then they come
tolerable.
out with this.
Yeah.
They come out with this. What is
I don't
this?
know. Look, I don't think as far as performance, I think Woody and Kevin acted the crap. Maybe not Woody. I feel like Kevin acted a little harder into the role than Woody brought to the table.
Kevin played Kevin Hart. That's what we played.
Kevin played Kevin Hart, which
Kevin
is his best performance.
Not hard.
Playing himself.
It's not tough.
It's not
Kevin
tough.
Hart,
Woody,
if you're Kevin Hart,
the vibe that Woody brought wasn't his strongest.
It was kind of low. Wasn't it?
It was pretty
low
gosh
energy
darn low.
from Woody,
and he's just like,
disappointed.
I'm here to collect $7 million. More than this hitman was making on the job for the film.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it was just $2 million, in fact.
The real hitman here is Woody Harrelson.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, but either I don't know, you probably should have paid your stunt double more, because he's going to have a hard time finding work after this,
No, he
honestly.
won't.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he will.
Nah.
Stunt double.
The bald one that played Woody Harrelson?
No, he won't. Stunt doubles fine work.
Wood hairless.
Woody Hairless son.
Woody
We
Hairless.
made that
Hairless
joke a
son.
couple weeks ago. Yeah.
What was his name? Ed Hairless?
Hair. And I said Head Hairless.
And we got Woody Hairless.
Hairless.
Woody Hairless.
I like it. I appreciate the attempt.
All right.
If you hadn't said it, I probably would have.
1 out of 10. Let's just give it a quick rating
1.
since we're not doing an official review.
I haven't given anything a 1.
I'll give it a 2. A 2.3.
I'll give it a 3. I wouldn't put it on the terrible tier list that we did last season.
No, I wouldn't.
But at
either.
the same time, it's not a good movie.
It wasn't
You know?
a bad movie. It just was a boring movie.
It was boring. It was standard. It was bleh.
This 1 is different than I think even a 3 that I've given to movies that I hated.
Mm-hmm.
This one was just for sheer lack of anything interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just threw that in there because Kevin Hart's being Kevin.
There he is being Kevin.
Just facial expression.
What the heck is going on?
I swear in this
Insert
movie,
joke here.
The man from Miami had a gun, and you could see him like go like this and then pause where they cut the scene, and then they were like action, and then he pulled it. Like, I swear you saw that him pause and go like that in this, where they didn't edit it good.
Yeah.
Probably.
The other dangerous assassin trope.
The other dangerous.
The other dangerous assassin sent to kill the dangerous assassin.
But like, he didn't.
The white
quite
man
get it.
from Miami.
Because like when they kind of introduced him, he's at a golf course.
Yeah.
And White's like, take the club and hit him with the golf, and they didn't do what we wanted.
Oh man, I was calling it. So he kills one dude.
Just
right
blunt
there.
force trauma.
Isn't it a gun?
Blunt with a golf club, he kills him. And then he's got the ball he's teed up. He's ready to go, and the dude's running towards the flag.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Hit the golf.
He's gonna
hit
hit the golf ball, and it's gonna land on that dude's head. I was like, that's genius.
What a perfect assassin.
I was like, that's a movie trope that I love.
Yeah.
It's like
It's cheesy, but it's fun.
Clearly, they're setting up for this. He turns the golf club into a gun and shoots him right
But
as
no,
he gets to the
I wanted
hole. And I was like,
They missed an opportunity.
such an opportunity.
freaking. And what if he like knocked him out and got a hole in one at the same time? Classy as Miami.
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Like I would have appreciated, even if he shot him if he had still hit the ball
Yeah.
and gotten like a hole in one,
Yeah.
that could have still worked. He
For
didn't
sure.
even hit the ball.
All right, fellas.
Sorry.
Man from Toronto. Wouldn't recommend it. If you like other things Kevin Hart's done that's very vanilla, you'll probably enjoy this.
If you like Kevin Hart, or
You might like this.
you might like this. If you like Woody Harrelson, maybe not.
Not so much. Woody Harrelson didn't bring the
Yeah.
thunder in this. I would rather go watch not Game of Thrones, Hunger Games.
Yeah.
I'd rather
Did
watch
better
Hunger
than that.
Games. He did better in that.
If you're a pleb
those-
and you like milquetoast, white bread, boring movies,
This film is for you.
Yeah.
There's one.
With mayonnaise. With Miracle
The
Whip.
wood from the
Woody from Toronto.
Woody from Toronto. You know, apparently the Canadian version of Woody
Woody
isn't
from
as
Toronto.
expressive or charismatic.
Yeah.
Amazing.
All right,
Is that all our stuff? Are we gonna not terrible? This is not a terrible tier
it's not a
list.
terrible tier
This
list.
is a
That was the beauty of the
Cartoon
terrible
list.
tier list.
because it was just
You just
It was
into
terrible tier.
Terrible
What
tier.
was this? Animation appreciation.
Animation
Animation
appreciation. I have an animation appreciation.
is this your win?
It is my week.
Appreciation.
He brought Avatar last week. Back the heck up. It's my week.
No, I brought out.
He brought Avatar. Stop taking credit for everything.
I remember I didn't have one.
So
and
I
guys were
told
like,
you to do
Avatar, and I was like, all right.
What's
that's-
the pick
no,
this
you
week?
said throw Avatar up there. That's what you said.
Okay, yeah.
All right, listen. This has set deep, especially people of our age,
Mhm.
set deep in our hearts.
Yeah.
All right? It's going to be hard to beat this when it comes to ranking these. We're not really ranking, we're categorizing them. But at the same time, this plays such an emotionally
Wait. I want
Deep.
to try to guess. Emotionally deep.
deep hold
Yeah.
inside of people's hearts.
I want to try to guess.
of all ages, but especially us. All right? It's big. It's powerful.
What do you think it is?
The
Beautiful.
Lion King?
It's funny.
If you put Rescue Heroes up there,
Is it The Lion King?
It's Shrek.
Oh, okay. Shrek.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Amazing.
The first one or the second one?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, Shrek in general.
Shrek.
Yeah.
The best of Shrek. Okay?
The first and second are.
We got Puss in Boots up there, so
Absolutely.
at least the second.
yeah.
The second one's such a good movie.
Look, the second one is a good film, but I watched it so many times,
Yeah.
I can't stand it at this point.
In fact, I might go watch the Most Extreme podcast on the Shrek 2. The Shrek 2 movie.
Second shout out for Most Extreme
Yeah.
Podcast in
I
this
not
episode.
that long ago watched Shrek Forever. You remember that night?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
No, I remember that night. I remember that night. Believe me. What are you doing? You
Well,
back up. You
bring
back-
up some. Slow your roll, son.
yeah.
Listen, Shrek's incredible. There's not much we can say about Shrek because I just show this picture and everyone gets a warm rush into their
A
heart.
fuzzy feeling.
A fuzzy feeling.
I love it.
And honestly, that's all you need.
Who's that guy?
No more words.
who's the guy?
Who's the guy?
No more words is
The
needed.
jokes, like for the most part, almost always land.
Almost
They
always.
feel good. They feel fun.
Eddie Murphy plays a donkey.
Antonio Banderas plays a cat.
Antonio Banderas!
Mike Myers.
Mike Myers. Freaking Cameron Diaz.
Cameron Diaz.
What a lineup.
Julie Andrews is in this.
Julie Andrews.
It's got a solid cast. I'll give it that.
John Cleese.
Yeah. Freaking, I don't
You
know.
can go. That is just an amazing cast.
Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake rolled up for Shrek, bro.
JT.
JT's like, oh, I gotta roll on Shrek.
Why is this just goofy?
Look, a lot of people showed up for Shrek, and we
Yeah.
appreciate all of them. All right.
Woo.
And this is going to be a high contender for whatever top category or favorites might fall into at the end of this summer season of the Wiseworks podcast.
Yeah.
But don't forget, everybody, on Friday night at 10 p.m., the Midnight Special comes out. And once again, I want to remind you that Wyatt does wear underwear only during the video version of the Midnight Special. So if you want to see that, go to the Patreon. And at the same time, I don't want you to be disappointed when you get there. So he doesn't actually do that, but
You couldn't even joke.
I can't lie.
You couldn't even lie to the people.
I can't lie because what if they pay the money and then they get there and they're like, I was only here for Wyatt and his unders.
I mean, we could do a photo shoot of Wyatt and his unders.
Well, like
OnlyFans?
We're talking like an Abercrombie and Fitch. Like
but we could do it for the only
like a Hanes commercial.
Wearing a shirt tucked into the underwear.
That's
heck yeah. Shout out to last week's midnight special. You talked about tucking a shirt into a Speedo.
The underwear.
Into a Speedo.
Into a Speedo.
Heck yeah. And go swimming like that.
Yeah.
So, were you serious when you did say about the Speedo though, or are we for real doing Speedos?
I mean, I got Speedos.
You got a Speedo?
No. I got the short Speedos. You know, the tight. They're tight, but they're shorts.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
The long shorts. I used to wear them underneath my trunks.
No.
Do you not know what the...
No. I mean, I can imagine they're like boxer briefs. They're like a Speedo, but with a little bit of leg.
I mean, I have Speedo trunks. I have Speedo trunks.